everyone? It is Comrade for Comrade Chasing, doing a update on the Snowstorm threat, the Clipper system in the Northeast, more specifically New England, and portions of New York State. I'm going to start the GFS model, because even though that's long range and kind of, I wouldn't say biased, but it's just kind of a little, it's just a little off at the short range. I'm still just going to use it and I'm also going to use the Euro model just to have kind of pull from multiple areas of, multiple models. So let's get into it. GFS model. I am using my computer, so if my audio sounds a little different, it's because I am using my new computer, which has a touchscreen, which this is awesome. This is a total game changer. Like I had the video yesterday, so you guys know what I'm talking about. Actually, I gotta back out again because I did not hit. Oh, never mind. There we go. Now we're good. Alright. So as you can see, at least the GFS, the snow starts to come in around 5 o'clock tomorrow evening, and gets really heavy around midnight, thereabouts. Especially even into the Connecticut River region. And it's still going during the daytime. I don't know why it's doing this. Still really heavy. 12Z, there's a little bit of a break, but there are some heavy spots of southern Berkshire, Worcester, and portions of the Berkshires. 15Z, so around 11 a.m. the snow gets back up, and same with 18Z. And it looks like by 0Z Friday, so around 8 o'clock Thursday evening, the snow should be wrapping up. A couple snow showers into Friday, early morning Friday, and it shouldn't be moving out. At least for snow totals for it, according to GFS, there you go. Looks like Springfield, Mass. might get maybe an inch or two. I think it was 12Z NAM that I liked a little bit. Or it was the 3 kilometer, I can't remember, but I personally, and I'll show you what I'm thinking at the end of the video, I personally think if you're in the Connecticut River Valley, you're going to see little to no snow at the immediate. Like if where you live is almost right along, if not right along the Connecticut River, from Northampton to Hartford, you're probably not going to see much snow. You might see a coating at best. But I think if you're if you're in the towns surrounding, like Springfield, Northampton, Hartford, Enfield, those areas, I think if you're in a town surrounding those cities, you'll probably see a good 1 to 3 inches, maybe 3 to 5. It's like, and I'll show you in a minute, NAM has been uptrending towards like 4 to 6 in some areas too. I don't think it's going to be a big snowstorm because it's a Clipper system, but I do think 3 to 5 inches in areas outside of the immediate area of the Connecticut River Valley could see some 3 to 5 totals. I think it really depends on minor elevation in the valley, because I mean we got a couple not mountains, they call them mountains, but we do have a couple mountains outside of Springfield, just east there, a couple to the west too. So I think it's just going to depend on elevation. So if you want a snow day, don't live in Springfield, or don't live in Northampton, or whatever. Northampton I could see, because it's a little bit higher up. Anyways, that's the Kachira ratio. This is the 10-to-1 ratio. I like this one better, because I think it was last year everyone was saying don't use the K ratio, because that one isn't the best. It kind of rules out a couple of things that 10 to 1 isn't the best either. You kind of have to just kind of hybrid it a little. And still saying about 4.3 at Northampton, probably about 2 to 3 inches at Springfield. Hartford, a whopping 4 inches. Um, so again, this is GFS. It's not really the best at the short and medium range. I would say this is the short range now. Um, but it's always nice to look at it. Euro showing practically nothing. It doesn't even think a snowstorm is going to happen. An inch or two possible on the Euro, and this from the K ratio, because they don't have the regular 10 to 1 ratio. Um, I definitely think some considerable snowfall will fall across the region, so I really wouldn't take the Euro into consideration unless I see a major downtrend, which I'm worried tomorrow we will. I say I'm worried because I want a snow day on Thursday, even though it's like a 40% chance because I live near the valley. I'm still praying for it. All right, I'll show the Canadian models. Oh wow, yeah, Canadian models uptrended a little. Canadian models were like the, depending on who you are, best case or worst case. Because they were showing practically nothing. It was just going to be like a coating storm, but now it's shooting up to 2 to 3 inches in the Springfield area, perhaps more in like Palmer and Westfield and those areas in southwest Massachusetts. Alright, 10 to 1 ratio, too. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Like, right there, Brimfield, Munson, Massachusetts. Showing like 4 to 6, maybe a little bit more. This one, I also don't think's gonna happen. I do think it's gonna be a Berkshires and the Worcester Hills, both northern and southern Worcester Hills. I could definitely see a couple isolated amounts in Westfield, Sturbridge, anywhere with high elevations away from like the interstate. So I think anywhere like in Westfield, Massachusetts, if you're away from I-90, if you're in the higher elevations, closer to the Berkshires, I could definitely see some 6-inch amounts there. Same goes for Sturbridge. When if heading into the southern Worcester Hills, I could definitely see some 6 inches, maybe even more. And that again, it's going to depend on elevation. Because again, it's also going to be in the mid 30s, so it's still going to snow. It's just dependent on if it's going to stick. And it probably will, not for long, but it probably will, which, that's the one downside. I wish it would be colder, because the colder it is, the fluffier the snow. And if it's above freezing, it's heavy snow, it's heavy wet snow, and it's a pain in the arse to shovel. Excuse my language. Alright, let's go to HRRR. Because why not? 18Z just came in, and yeah, I agree fully with HRRR 18Z. I think definitely, maybe more in the Berkshires too, because there's barely any amounts there, but I definitely agree that I think the Worcester County hills, both north, central, and south, are going to get hit pretty good. Probably a good 6 to 8 there. I don't know about the really pinkish spot in southeast Hampden County and extreme southwest Worcester. I mean, it is hilly up there. There are mountains up there. But I don't think to that point it will bring, I don't know, what, 7 to 9 inches. But I do agree with the valley. It does look like most of the small amounts are isolated to the Connecticut River Valley. It's still 3.1 inches at Northampton, perhaps more as you go away from the city. I think it really depends. Do you live right on the Connecticut River? And how above sea level are you? Well, not sea level, but like elevation, uh, higher altitudes, and staying away from like the cities of like Northampton, Springfield, Hartford, definitely, Enfield. Definitely, those cities probably aren't going to get too much. But little towns like Palmer. I'd call Palmer a city, honestly. But Palmer, Munson, not even West Springfield. Maybe portions of Agawam, Feeding Hills, Westfield, definitely. Belchertown, Bondsville. Those areas I could definitely see in Massachusetts, at least. I could see definitely 2 to 5 inches, 3 to 5 inches there. I really think it just depends on if you're out of the city or not. Yeah, I'm trying to hit near my house, kind of. Yeah, like 4 inches. Alright, that's H triple R. I should do the chair one. Yeah, again, you can see the valley right there. Basically, again, not too much. 3.5. That's pretty good. Alright, let's go to NAM. Actually, we'll go to rap. We'll go to rap first. Rap, yeah. I think rap right now has a bit of a Berkshire bias, but I definitely can see it. I can definitely see a ton of snowfall in all of the Berkshires. So I think if you're listening, you're going to school in Berkshire County, it'd probably be a snow day for most, if not all, of the county. And I think if you're watching Worcester County, I think it's safe to say at least the northern, the western, and portions of the southern hills of Worcester County will probably see a snow day, if not maybe like a 2 hour delay. I really think everywhere within western, central Massachusetts, and northern Connecticut will probably see a 2 hour delay on Thursday. But I definitely could see a couple areas, not even a few areas getting some snow days. And I'm really hoping for that. I do not want to go to school on Thursday, but I cannot afford to skip. Alright, 12Z. Let's go to 18Z. 18Z. This is only up to 15Z Thursday, but definitely a considerable amount of snow. About 2.5 inches away from the immediate river, Connecticut River. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to hit. Yeah, I think it's all just dependent on where you are in the valley. If you're near the Connecticut River, you're probably not going to see too much, probably a quarter to an inch. But if you're like away from Springfield, if you're away from the cities, and if you're in like the neighboring towns, I could definitely see some higher amounts of snowfall, albeit not too much higher, probably like 3 to 5 inches at most. Losing my voice here, sorry. Yeah. I don't know what NAM is smoking though for northern Connecticut. I don't really think they're gonna see a little area of 6.5 inches. But let me go back to 12Z, and I'm just gonna, if it would let me. Come on. 12Z I liked, although you got this weird thing happening from Worcester County all the way down into Hartford. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I do kind of like I liked how the models are figuring out that the Connecticut River is probably going to screw some people out of snowfall. I think the main point here is, I think if you're in the valley, if you're in downtown Springfield, or if you're in West Springfield, or if you're in Northampton, or if you're in Enfield or Hartford, You're probably only going to see a coat in the 2 inches max, unless something really big happens tomorrow, and I'll do a video if that happens. Um, Otherwise, I think outside of the city, even in the neighboring towns and cities there, I definitely could see some higher amounts being possible. Uh, I'll show the NAM 3 kilometer because it's kind of stupid. Um, I mean, 3 inches. I think the problem is the NAM 3 kilometer not really too good with the Connecticut River. Again, the Connecticut River is just going to screw everything up. The whole valley screws everything up. It's a bit of a storm dome. Speaking of storm dome, let me just real quick check. Okay. Snow squall as of recording, heading this way, so maybe we might want to get set up on that later in a minute or two. Um, I'll show you the National Weather Service official forecast. Let me make sure. Oh, I'm an idiot right there. Right now, the expected snowfall from National Weather Service Norton is saying 1.6 inches in Springfield, so we'll round that up to 2 inches in Springfield, which I don't argue. I don't argue with that. That's pretty good. 3.3 at Greenfield, about an inch at Hartford, and it looks like some higher amounts, of course, in the Worcester Hills. Although I do see. Oh, okay. Do have that little portion there around Stafford Springs and Munson of corridor of 3 to 5. This is the 1 in 10 chance. It's like the 10% chance of higher snowfall. Right now they're saying 4 inches at most for Springfield, 5 inches for Greenfield, 2 inches for Hartford, 4 inches for Worcester, 5 inches for Fitchburg, 5 inches at Pittsfield and Great Barrington. But yeah, and then here's the 9 out of 10. This is the 9% chance of higher snowfall. Could see less than an inch in Springfield and Worcester. Definitely could see 1 or 2 inches at Greenfield, Fitchburg, Pittsfield, and Great Barrington. Hartford could see nothing at all. But I do think if you live in Massachusetts, west of 95, you'll probably definitely see at least a coating. I would be extremely surprised if this was nothing at all. Like that one storm last year. I hated that storm. Although I got a free snow day out of it, even though it was just rain. Yeah, alright. So, I'm gonna go to weather-wise. We're just gonna pretend nothing's happening there. We're just gonna hit that. I'm happy they released winter weather advisories and stuff on weather-wise. This is an awesome app. I'm not sponsored or anything, but this is a great app. If you don't want to pay for, Radar Scope or Radar Omega, but you want a reliable radar, definitely get this one. You can customize your reflectivity, your velocities, and everything, which is pretty cool. Alright, enough of me, I don't know what you'd want to call it. Alright, let me set up a better green. There we go. I'm fine with the size. Alright. So this is my idea, and again, I have a bias. I'm just more or less doing southern New England, so if you're looking for New York, or Vermont, or New Hampshire, I might not be giving the best of information for you, so you might want to look elsewhere. Although I do try my best. I think, like right here, maybe into Boston, probably just rain. Maybe a mix, and then I'll put in a mix. And alright, and for and I didn't mean to, I'll just fix that. I didn't mean. I'm trying to figure out because I gotta remember too. Northeast Connecticut has some um, hilly terrain. Somewhere around there, according to 2 inches. It's my call. Again, this is unofficial. This is just what I think's gonna happen. Um, put it in yellow. I don't think it's gonna be that, but yeah, we'll put it in dark blue. Looks better. Um, nah, not even that. Sorry, just trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this. I guess we can do it. Yeah. Sorry, just trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this. Alright, we're just gonna make a massive corridor, because, and again, I don't know about those areas in southern Vermont, New York, and all of them, so don't take what I'm doing right now as gospel, because I'm just trying to focus on southern New England. This blue area will be 3 to 5 inches possible. My OCD is acting up, sorry. Alright. Now we'll use the yellow. And we'll say that's too far. That's too. I should have had this planned out. Sorry about that, folks. And we'll be a little nicer. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell with Worcester and portions of Hampden County what will happen. But this area probably could see 4 to 6 plus. And finally, I'm gonna put a question mark because I'm still unsure about southern Worcester getting heavy amounts, but 6 to 8 inches plus possible. So, alright, let me zoom out for you. So that's what I think is gonna happen. So we'll just have to see what happens. Snow forecasting is extremely difficult, especially even in the last 24 hours before the event even starts. It's terrible. So we'll just keep an eye on it. This is my unofficial forecast. But I think that'll do it for today. Sorry for the long update, but just wanted to get this out and share my opinions. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.